Hello, everyone. Welcome back or welcome to Astrology with Georgie. In this video, we are going to be mainly taking a look at Mars stationing direct. Hallelujah. Shall we celebrate? Shall we have a party? Who is happy about this? Because as a Cancer rising, let me tell you, I am thrilled. So Mars is going direct on the 23rd of February. So we're going to be looking at that aspect and what it means for you guys and your signs. I'm also going to be discussing kind of just a little bit about the current energy. We are now in Pisces season, but we've got a lot of planets in Pisces. We have a Pisces stellium at the moment, so I'm just going to touch on the current energy and what you may be experiencing as well. Now, before we get into the video, if you get some value from this, please give it a thumbs up. Please drop a comment as that helps the algorithm do its thing. Please help me get to 2,000 subscribers. Click the subscribe button so you don't miss any future content from me. I'm here doing new moons, full moons always, and then the odd extra video like this one when I can squeeze it in. You'll notice I have kind of combined two topics here. So we're talking about Pisces season and Mars direct, but I just feel it's kind of relevant because it's happening this week. Now, I thought I'd wear purple today. I don't know if it's the Pisces energy making me feel more creative, but let me know how are you guys feeling? So we have now. Let me just skip the chart back because I was just focusing on Mars going direct. So as I'm recording this, it is the 19th of February. How quickly has February gone, by the way? I just feel like it's absolutely flying by. And as you can see, we have got a stellium of planets in Pisces. Now, Mercury's moved in, the Sun has now moved in, making it Pisces season. And I will touch on this when I go through the signs as well, on how kind of this is showing up in your chart. But just collectively, you might be feeling this energy because there's so many planets in Pisces. We have got Saturn and Neptune there. But now that we've also got the North Node there, having Mercury there and the Sun is now illuminating this section of your chart and this energy in general. I think a lot of people are actually going to really be feeling this energy. It's a heavy amount of Pisces energy. How many of you have cried this week? Has anyone cried this week? It is, okay, pros of this energy. So we can all be feeling kind of magical, dreamy, spiritual. If you work doing any spiritual practices, this is going to help you tap into your third eye, to your higher self, because it's such a spiritual sign. Pisces is the energy of divine. So it's the sign that is closest between basically the heaven and the earth. So, when we're having this collective energy, we can all feel a little bit more gentle, a little bit more empathetic. We can all be feeling maybe more tired. Maybe some of you might be feeling run down under this energy. Now, Pisces is the sign of the dreamer. So you can really be getting lost in daydreaming. And it can be to the point where you're losing time, you don't know where the time's gone, you're scrolling on your phone more than usual, you're reading a book and you're losing track of time because you're getting lost in the book, you're getting lost in film, which obviously can be beautiful, getting lost in film and a TV series, a book, all really lovely. But sometimes it can be that you're actually daydreaming to the point where you can also be imagining worst case scenarios as well. That's the downside of Pisces, imagining worst case scenarios. Positive side is that your imagination is broadened. You can be feeling really creative. If you are a creative person or you work in a creative field, this energy is going to be really helpful. Helpful for you to just let those creative juices flow and come out of you. And it's just kind of like a really soft and gentle kind of energy. That's the best way I can describe it. And you might quite literally be feeling this. Now, downside would be, like I said, imagining worst case scenarios, daydreaming, losing time, losing your possessions, thinking, where did I put that? Just being in a bit of a daze. Downside of this energy is you not seeing things clearly, seeing things through rose-tinted glasses, struggling with setting boundaries, because Pisces energy is kind of like, oh, okay, it doesn't matter. Oh, it's a bit wishy-washy in that sense, rather than being firm and setting boundaries. It's like oh, it doesn't matter kind of vibe. So you may find yourself struggling to set boundaries a bit more under this energy. Escaping through substances that are not useful. you can imagine what those are under this energy as well, you know, being called towards reaching for the glass of wine or whatever it is that you want to do. You just may find yourself being drawn to that more in this season. But Pisces is all about healing. It's about spiritual and emotional healing. You know, it's the opposite sign to Virgo. Virgo is, you know, doctors, nurses, physicians, chiropractors, people that can physically do things. Pisces is how can we spiritually and emotionally heal through energy, through meditation, through Reiki, through through spirit. How can we release things from our body in a non-logical sense? And so under this energy, we can feel called towards doing more of those things, but it's also a really good time to tap into those things. And Pisces is all about letting go. So this is the time of year where we are releasing, we're letting go, because we're getting ready for the astrological new year, which I'm so excited about. But at the moment, it's just a time where we're reflecting. We're reflecting on the past year. What has gone on? You can be feeling so emotional. You know, if you find yourself just crying, then cry. Let it all out. That's what a Pisces would do. They'd be crying. Connecting with water is a really good way to heal yourself. I'll do the new moon in a separate video, but I'll be talking about, you know, you may be feeling more drawn to water, connecting with water, bathing more, you know, showers, imagining the energy running off you, spending time in spas and jacuzzis, going to the ocean if you can, you know, seas, swimming in rivers and lakes, anything to do with water, even listening to like water sounds can all be very healing with the Pisces energy. Now, when I think of, I mean, this week, for me personally, just giving an example, I have found myself just listening to Billie Eilish over and over again. And she's a Pisces rising, and her music is obviously extremely emotional and painful and sentimental and gentle. And I just can't stop listening to her music. And I've had this one particular song in my head all week. Even when I've woken up in the night to go to the loo, I've still got this song running over in my mind. And I'm thinking, oh my God, go, just get out of my head. But I can't stop singing it. And Billie Eilish is a Pisces rising. And if you think about what she looks like, you think about those dreamy ocean eyes, though that is the appearance of a Pisces. When your rising sign determines your appearance, and she looks like a watery little emotional fish. And that is what a Pisces rising looks like. So if you are a Pisces rising watching this, tell me what you look like, or let me look at your, you know, have you got a profile picture that I can look at? But she is the epitome of Pisces energy, and so is her music. So you could just feel called towards, you know, yeah, just getting lost in music and that kind of thing over the next few weeks, which is beautiful. Just try and ground yourself. If you can feel yourself being too up in the clouds, go for a walk in nature, hug a tree, get in the garden, ground yourself with earth, put your feet on the earth, and that should kind of bring you back down if you feel like that is what is going on right now. It is I actually think it's, you know, it's a very romantic energy. So I think it's a beautiful energy for us to just kind of be floating around before we get into the madness of Aries season. So I feel like we should enjoy this. But yeah, just ground yourself if you feel like it's all a bit too much. Now, on the 23rd of February, and I'm so thrilled about this, I can't even tell you, but Mars is going direct in the sign of Cancer. Can you see this little S here? It's stationing. So basically it's going to be stood, not really stood still, but, you know, appearing to stand still in the sky from our position on Earth on the 23rd. So pay attention to what happens this weekend, because when planets stop to go forwards or stop to go backwards, when they are stationing, this is when the energy of the retrograde or the energy of the forward motion is most potent. They hold this vibration and we can always see things happening. So just pay attention. I mean, Mars is still squaring Chiron, so I don't know if we're going to see things in the news. Chiron is the wounded healer. Mars obviously rules fire and crime. It's blood, it's guns, it's knife, it's all the nasty things. But it's in the sign of Cancer, so this is about protecting our homes, this is about our family, and it's our emotions. So there may be things coming up in the news, especially around Sunday, to do with people's homes, as Mars stations direct. You yourself could be feeling more emotional, especially if you have Cancer placements around Sunday. Your emotions are going to be heightened because this energy is just going to be a bit stronger around Sunday as Mars is about to do its forward motion. Now, the retrograde, so the story this has been a whole process. So Mars entered Cancer last year, and it covered the later part of Cancer in October. So there's been a story since kind of October, and this story will continue until it reaches 6 degrees of Leo, which will be, because this is the shadow period, 3rd of May, it clears shadow. So the shadow period means the space in the sky or in the chart which the planet has gone over 3 times, because it's gone forward, it's gone back, it's gone forward. So this is the shadow period. So Mars is going to obviously go direct in Cancer. It's going to leave Cancer. It's going to go into Leo. And then it's going to clear its shadow 3rd of May. So basically there's this chunk of time between October and May. What has been going on for you? Because Mars has been telling us this story. So I want you to think back to October, November, December. Mars actually went retrograde on the 6th of December in the sign of Leo. So mainly there's been this rethinking, reworking around our energy, around what we're putting our energy into since the 6th of December. What have you been frustrated around? What has Mars been trying to work out for you? Mars has been trying to fix something in the Leo, but mainly in the Cancer section of your chart, because this is where it all started. So it's mainly in the Cancer section of your chart. What has been unfolding? Mars also does not get on very well in Cancer. So this is where it's felt more tricky. Mars in a water sign is emotional, it's passive aggressive, but it's because it's been such a long process, it's more of like a story rather than just like a tiny piece. So I want you to think what's been going on since October. Can be things to do with, like I said, your family, your home, having to fix stuff, having to work stuff, annoyances, frustrations with family members, even with your pets, frustrations with roommates, issues coming up, or having to sort stuff out, having to fix stuff, like the dishwasher, and all these little things can all come up. Having to protect your home, having to fix your garden fence, all these things. But it's also an emotional piece as well, and when I run through the signs, it'll become more personal. But ultimately, we've been thinking as well about what is it that we want to put our energy into. For some people, it's involved topics of fertility, creativity, because it has done the retrograde process in Leo as well. So things to do with children, creativity, love, what we're putting our heart into, and our family and our home. All of these topics have been coming up over the past couple of months. So now Mars is moving direct, we can actually move forward. Maybe not quite until, when we get to May and Mars has cleared its shadow, we're going to be out of Aries season. May is Taurus season. So we're going to be fully into the astrological new year and fully moving forward. So whatever you've been stuck around, whatever you've been having frustrations around, then just know things are going to get clearer. I mean, I say this, but then we have also got a lot of stuff going on in March with the Mercury and Venus retrogrades. However, I don't feel like it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same as Mars retrograding, because Mars is our energy, and it's been in a very, it's the sign of its fall. So this has been challenging. When the planet of energy, what we're actually putting our effort into, this can show up as just frustrations with stuff. Whereas the Mercury and the Venus retrogrades, which obviously I'll talk about in a later video, that's more of a rethinking around certain aspects of our life. Whereas the Mars is like, you just can't seem to move forward with certain things. So it can be frustrating. So as I move into the signs, be sure to listen for your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. Even when I'm referring to houses when I'm talking, it still applies if you're listening for your sun sign or your moon sign, because the astrological house system is how we work out the transits, but it still applies. So it's like counting from your sun or counting from your moon. It's like counting the houses round from your sun or counting the houses round from your moon. I don't know if that makes sense to some people, but when astrologers, even if I'm talking about the house system, sometimes people comment, especially on my one of my other platforms, they say, oh, she's only talking about the rising sign because she's talking about the houses. No, it still applies. Listen for your sun, your moon, and your rising sign, and piece them all together. Your rising sign is the most literal, because yes, we're talking about the house system based with the sign on the first house. However, you count round from the sun, and you can count around from the moon as if the sun was in the first house and as if the moon was in the first house, and that's how it applies. I don't know if that makes sense, but just trust me, listen for all three, piece them together. Sometimes you may feel one resonates more with the other. Rising sign is going to be the most literal, but like I've said on my past few videos, I'm really finding the sun sign really relevant at the moment. So yeah, listen to all three, piece them all together, and let me know in the comments how you get on. Now, I'm going to start from Aries because that's the first sign of the zodiac, and we're going to move around to Pisces. Hi, Aries. So, first of all, Pisces season. Wow, you guys are in retreat, healing, release mode at the moment because obviously you have the natural zodiacal wheel. So, everything I've mentioned at the beginning of this video about Pisces energy and what it represents is double whammy for you because you have Pisces on your 12th house, and the 12th house is naturally ruled by Pisces. So, as the sun moves into Pisces with all these other planets, you guys are being called towards reflection, retreating, respite care. Now, this is all about your spiritual healing. What do you guys need to let go of before it becomes your season? So, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. This is the completion of a cycle. So, this is a time where we are called towards releasing, letting things go, healing something before we spring into action again, before we start the new cycle. You guys, obviously being Aries, you're very good at initiating things. Maybe not so good at you know, admitting that you need help or admitting that you need to heal something. Spending time alone and at home is going to be good for you, but it might not always feel that natural for you guys because you want to always be out doing stuff. But you are being called towards going within. Now, the sun rules your fifth house. This is what you're creating. So whether it be creating life, creating, something physical like it for your business or a project, whether you're having fun, whether this is talking about a romance that you're creating or blossoming, something's going on behind the scenes. So maybe you're creating something behind the scenes. Maybe there's a secret to do with children happening behind the scenes. Maybe you are spending time with your children behind the scenes. Maybe your love life or something about your romance, something could be blossoming for some of you behind the scenes. It could be a secretive romance that's not quite come out yet. But there's an element of reflection. Maybe you're reflecting on your love life. There's an element of, what do I need to heal? What do I need to release? What do I need to let go of that is no longer serving me before I move into my my new astrological year? Now, there's going to be some retrogrades here. Okay, so there's a lot of focus on this house for you over the next few months with Aries and Pisces season, because Venus and Mercury are going to both be in Aries, both retrograde in Aries, and then they're going to go back into the 12th house. So you are being called to retreat, to release something. This is the house of solitude, hospitals, clinics. So you can find yourself maybe having to like go to a hospital appointment, go visit some form of like clinic that's behind the scenes. This is the house of solitude. It's imprisonment. So this isn't really not the majority of you, but this could be, if you know somebody that's in prison during these transits, you can find yourself going to a place like that, places of solitude. This is places of worship. So if you're not spending time in meditation and connecting to your higher self, maybe you are going to a church, going to a spiritual church, spending time worshiping, going to a spa. All of these things of retreat and solitude can come up in this house. And with the sun, which represents your energy and your vitality being here, this is a time when you are being asked to just go within. Go within and ask yourself what your body needs. What do you need right now? And yes, you can feel a bit under the weather. You can feel, your energy may be lower. When the sun enters the 12th house, it's like you don't know where your energy is. So a lot of you are feeling tired. You're feeling tired. It's the end of the astrological new year and you need to rest. Maybe you've really pushed yourself in Aquarius season, and now, Capricorn and Aquarius season actually, on this section high up in the chart, this is about being seen, being with others, working hard, and now you need to rest and you need to retreat and you need to ask yourself, okay, what do I need? Listen to watch films, listen to music, do all these creative things, but do them at home. do them in a quiet place. This isn't the energy where you're going to want to go out and socialize necessarily. So that's just something to know. And that is Pisces season for you over the next few weeks. However, you are having your ruling planet move direct on the 23rd. So this is going to actually help you move forward with something that you've been working on over the past couple of months. So maybe your energy has felt off. You might have felt like you don't have the energy that you would quite like to possess. You might have been reworking something. Have you been reworking something in the part of your chart that represents your family and your home? What have you been revisiting? What have you been fixing? Have you had things break in the home? Have you had to fix things? Have you been thinking about where you live? There can be a whole rethinking process around our home. Is this home right for me? Do I want to live here? Sorting things out within the home, having a clear out, sorting things out. Things with family members coming up, family members, going over stuff. Now, Mars also rules your 8th house of intimacy and other people's money. So there can be a piece of, shared resources in home. So for some of you, there could be topics around, can we move? Can we afford to move? Sorting out your finances so that you can make adjustments in the home. This is also the house of intimacy. So intimate conversations, intimate connections, working things out with a partner, working things out in your intimate connections in your life, intimate family connections, reworking of something. Now, this is our psychology and our therapy. So maybe not quite feeling yourself, or analyzing your own thoughts and your own mind. And there's a direct connection between how do I feel, why do I feel like this, and your inner emotions, rethinking around what you need emotionally. What do you need to nurture yourself on an inner level? Because the 4th house is your inner emotions. For some of you, it's visiting memories from the past. It's digging things up from your ancestry, digging secrets up. Family secrets can come out, that kind of stuff. But for a lot of you, this has been a reworking around what you need to make you happy. There's been a focus here on your emotions in some way. Maybe you felt frustrated. Maybe you've been having some deep emotions about something. And actually, this is going to be part of the Pisces story of thinking about what it is that you need to let go of. Okay. And as Mars moves direct, being your chart ruler, it's going to move back into Leo, which is going to be a bit more fun than being in Cancer in your 4th house. And you're going to be able to feel like you're moving on from this emotional whirlwind if you felt like you have been in one. So let me know how this story has played out for you. How has this Mars retrograde played out for you? What stories, what clarity have you gained around your home and your living situation? Let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next one. Hi, Taurus. So Pisces season for you guys is activating your 11th house of your networks, your communities, your connections with other people. This is your friendships. This is also your goals for the future, your hopes and your dreams and your wishes for the future. So as the sun has now moved into this section as well, you are putting more focus into your friends in some way. Your friends, maybe meeting up with friends, having more social connections. Maybe the sun is shining a light on the people that you want to hang around with, the people that you want to spend time with. It can be a sense of, are these people right for me? Are these people spiritually aligned? Maybe you're making some new connections within a group that aligns with your values, or some sort of spiritual group, a group. It could be anything. It can be that you are joining, a meditation class, you are joining a yoga class, just spending more time with people that share your spiritual values in some way. Trips with friends, also possible with Mercury here. The sun rules your 4th house of your family and home. So this can directly tie in with your goals, because this is your hopes and your dreams for the future. And Pisces is so imaginative that maybe you're fantasizing about your future. You're fantasizing about your family goals. You're fantasizing about the type of family that you want to create. Maybe you're fantasizing about how many children you want to have, and you're just living in this dream world, and your imagination is going, and you're focusing on where you want to be. where you want to live, because this is the home. This is also the house of your emotions. So there's a connection here between how you feel and broadening your horizons. This is also the house of the internet. So if you happen to work on the internet, maybe you work from home on the internet, or you work from home in a large organization, maybe it's like online, so you're working on Zoom and that kind of stuff. There's focus here on you shining the sun in a large organization in some way, and it's in the sign of Pisces. So maybe you're perceived as somebody that is a little bit witchy, or is a little bit Pisces yourself. Are you seen as someone that's spiritual? Are you seen as somebody that has strong beliefs, or someone that is gentle in some way? Either or. With the sun in the 11th house, you are shining in groups. So whatever groups that you work in, there's an element of you networking, you new opportunities to network, you being seen more in groups and network, and you're just putting a bit more of your energy and your focus into organizations, group work, being, serving the masses. This is the house of humanity, humanitarian causes. So for some of you, it could be that you're looking at, you're focusing on charity work, and you're doing something for a larger cause that isn't just for yourself, serving the collective in some way. And there's more focus on how you can do that over the next few weeks. For some of you, it will just be manifesting as, if you work in a large organization, you are kind of shining more, you are networking more. But for others, this is going to be a bigger cause depending on your own chart. Now, Mars is going direct in your 3rd house. So this is the house of connection, communication. This is social media, how you speak to people. This is online stuff. This is, your friendships can come up here, the people that you are connecting with. Mars has been reworking something maybe in your friendships, in your groups, how you're communicating, how you're talking. Mars rules your 7th house of one-on-one relationships and your 12th house of secrets. So have there been secrets involved in your intimate relationships coming out, and awkward conversations, and having to piece things back together with your friends in some way? There's a piece here about friendships and connection. Best friends can come up with the 7th house. And the 12th house is about things going on behind the scenes, secrets. And with Mars retrograding, it's like something's been going on for some of you in that sense. It could be that you've been rethinking about, okay, how do I want to work, your technology stuff. So how do I want to work? So now that Mars is moving forward again, clarity and forward moving in, the stuff that you're creating. So the content. So how do I want to work with this piece of information? If you're a writer, if you're doing any, blog posts or anything like that, Mars moving forward can kind of bring clarity in that piece. How you work with one-on-one clients, how you communicate with one-on-one clients. 3rd house is your siblings and your relatives. So have you had any news, any communication with siblings or relatives recently? Connections are going to move forward if Mars has been working anything out with your relatives or your siblings. The 3rd house is also transportation and things to do with your car, how you get around, your local trips. So as Mars moves direct again, it's been doing this retrograde process. Have you had any issues with your car? Have you had any issues with how you get around? Because things are going to be forward moving in that sense. And maybe you're going to be getting stuff fixed. Maybe you, maybe, even if it's like a light bulb's been out and you've not been bothered to do it. Now, as Mars is moving direct, you're going to feel that you've got a bit more energy towards getting things fixed to do with your transportation. What else? The 3rd house is also how we think. It's our mind. So a change in your thoughts. Now, I'm just trying to think, because with Mars ruling your 7th house, there can be a case of speaking to people. This is the house of connection, and this is the house of one-on-one. So this is like our astrologers, our doctors, our clinicians. Mars moving backwards has been suggesting some frustrations with people that you're connecting with, So it can be a piece of, if you've been having to heal something, or, you know, secret conversations behind the scenes, not getting the right information that you need, because the third house is like information. With Mars being retrograde, maybe the information hasn't been coming as quickly as you want, and you've not really been getting anywhere with these conversations and connections with these, you know, like doctors, whatever. As Mars moves forward, you can feel like you're moving forward with the conversations that you're having in order to heal something. Yeah, I can just see there's a piece around moving forward with the connections and the details. Third house is like details. Think of like Mercury. So the details of things, if they have felt frustrating, then as Mars moves direct, you're going to be feeling like you're getting on better with the details of things. And as this rules your mind as well, it's like maybe you are deciding you want to learn something. You're maybe you've been, you know, going back to, maybe you've been with the Mars retrograde, going back to something, you know, maybe you've been going back to something you used to do, like reading, getting lost in a book, getting lost in a magazine or a blog, something like that. So moving forward with, yeah, maybe your mind's changed from the things that you've read, or you've been, yeah, focusing on kind of reading or taking on information in a different way. And Mars going forward is your mind's changed because of that in some way. Obviously this is going to be different for everyone, but let me know in the comments. And then Mars, so before I say that, Mars is then going to move back into Leo in your 4th house. So what, there's been a story, what has happened since October that's been frustrating to do with your family and connection and details of things. Because Mars is going to move forward back into Leo, back into your 4th house. So you may see again, you may see things coming up with your family, but it's going to be on the back of having sorted something out. So think back to what's been happening since October, November, December. And let me know in the comments, how has the story been playing out for you? What has gone on? We are going to have Venus and Mercury retrograde, and that's going to tie in and highly activate your 12th house of healing and letting go, and your 11th house of your goals. So these two houses are going to be highly activated for you guys over the next couple of months, but I'm going to talk about that in another video. So yeah, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, Gemini. So Gemini, you guys are experiencing Pisces season, which is activating your 10th house of your career. So Geminis, I predict massive changes for you all in terms of your career and your reputation over the next year. But let's just focus on the present. The sun moving into your 10th house is illuminating something to you. It's illuminating something about your career. You're putting focus into your goals and what you're working towards. There is focus on your legacy, what you're creating. Maybe you're thinking about your career more. Maybe some ideas are coming to you. How can I be more creative? How can I climb the career ladder? What is it that I want to change about my career? What is it that I want to change about my public reputation or my status? This is also your status. So, you know, single, relationship, that all counts as your status. This is also the house of parents. Has anything gone on with your parents, or are you focusing on your parents in any way? The sun rules your 3rd house of communication. So having to have conversations with your bosses, with authority figures in some way is possible. Focusing on details, you know, signing contracts around, you know, having a pay rise or having, you know, a job opportunity, you know, changes to your status and reputation at work can all come up here, and it's involving details and communication and conversations. For some of you, changing neighborhoods or changing travel, or focus on travel in order to get to work, or maybe working from home a bit more. Or there's just an element of changes in your routines and how you get around, and this directly connecting to your 10th house of your career. And how you're seen by the public. You know, do you work on social media? Because you're in the limelight more when you're up here, so you're going to have more recognition, especially with the North Node moving into your 10th. If you want it, and Jupiter in your 1st house, there's potential coming for you now around your recognition and how you are being perceived by the public. So that is there for you. Now, with Mars stationing direct, it is stationing direct in your 2nd house of finances, income, and values. Mars rules your 6th house of work and your 11th house of networks. So have you been rethinking around how you want to make money? Because this whole rethinking process, bearing in mind the story started around October. So have you been rethinking around your career? Have you been rethinking around your money? You know, am I going to earn enough? Is this what I want to do? How much do I value money? You know, all these questions are going to be coming up with the Mars retrograde, especially because it rules what you do on a day to day. It also rules your health. You know, maybe you've been rethinking around what's important to me. Is my health important to me? Are my routines important to me? How can I change something about my routines and my self-care in order to really value myself and to focus on myself and my body? You know, Cancer, this is the body. Working from home, rethinking things about money and home matters. Mars ruling your 11th house. How can I be of service? You know, how can I earn money from a group of people? How can I be of service to a group of people? What's important to me? Do I value myself enough to go back to or to live authentically? North Node in the 10th house is going to be pushing you towards your soul purpose. It's all about living in alignment. And the Mars retrograde in your second is maybe being part of, okay, is this really how I want to make money? And how do I want to live more authentically and more in tune? You know, how can I tap into my emotions and think, actually, how do I want to be earning? Things with pets can come up as well, like having to spend money on pets. What's important to me? What do I value about the pets in my life? That's always possible. What do I value about my friendships? What do I value about the communities that I'm a part of? These has all been coming up. And as Mars moves direct, you are going to gain more clarity and you're going to start moving forward in financial matters. And then Jupiter is going to come into your second house in June. So if you have been worrying about finances in some sense, just know that you have got a positive planet entering your second house. You guys have got a positive year because Jupiter's in your first house at the moment, bringing you new opportunities. You're having huge changes to your career or your public image or your reputation in some way. And then your finances are going to be activated. Mars in the second house, yes, it can be that you're having to spend on things. But it can also be money comes to you as well. That's also possible. So it kind of works both ways. And a lot of the time it's you'll earn money and then you'll spend money, you'll earn money and then you spend money. Depends on your own chart. You know, are you a day chart? Are you a night chart? Is Mars more positive for you or not? If you are a night chart, it's a little bit less challenging than if you are a day chart. And also you have to pay attention to other aspects in your own chart. But basically, you're going to be gaining clarity around your financial situation and how you want to earn money, and what is really important to you. So let me know in the comments, Gemini, what has been going on for you throughout the past couple of months. What clarity have you gained? How is this resonating for you? And I'll see you in the next one. And good luck. I hope it goes well. Okay, Cancer. Well, you guys, okay. Well, first of all, we'll talk about Pisces season. This is kind of this is a dreamy energy for you guys. It's a sign that trines you, and the ninth house is a positive house. It's the house of faith. Maybe you are really being called to have faith about something. You know, you've got Pisces stellium in the ninth house. This is about trust. This is really about trusting in the divine plan and the divine timing around the direction of your life. The ninth house is our lens into the world. It's our religion, our spirituality, our faith. You know, we can put astrology in the ninth house as well. So, you know, focusing on astrology and your beliefs. But as the sun comes through here, you're really focusing on seeing the bigger picture in some way. So try not to focus too much on the details of things. You've got to try and focus on where am I going to be in 5 years' time, and try and focus more on that rather than, okay, well, this is not happening this week, this isn't happening this month. You know, try and look world view, bigger picture. The sun rules your second house of finances and values. So it could be that you're spending money on a holiday, you're thinking about traveling, you're thinking about learning something, you're thinking about spending money on a course or developing your mind in some way. Maybe you want to commit to a coach or a guru and you want to learn through another person and you're thinking about spending money on that. Or your values, your values are changing around what it is that you're learning. Your values are changing around your beliefs. yeah, there's just a focus on how can I develop my mind? How can I learn? How can I travel? Meeting a teacher, meeting a guru. But really, and that, let's just zone out because the North Node is here. So this is more than just, the sun moving through. How can I have faith? What are my beliefs? What is my faith? Saturn here maybe has been challenging your faith, challenging your beliefs since 2023 around something. Um, yeah, around something in your chart. And now the sun's shining here, you're putting more energy and more focus. So it could just be that you decide this month that you're going to do a course, you're going to learn something, you're going to meet an important teacher, an important guru, you're going to expand your mind around a certain topic. But in the energy of Pisces, you are really just having to trust in the divine timing. And now, because Mars has been doing this retrograde in your sign, you guys have obviously felt this the most. So, what has been going on since October, Cancer? What's been going on with your family? What's been going on with your children? What's been going on with fertility, your values, your life direction, and what you're putting your energy into? Maybe you have felt like you can't go on. Maybe you felt like quitting. Maybe you have felt like quitting a job because Mars rules your 10th house. Maybe you felt like quitting a relationship because Mars rules your 5th house. Maybe there's been some frustrations and some challenges in your love life, in your goals, maybe goals that you and your partner are moving towards together. Maybe you don't feel like you're moving forward and you've been having this crisis of faith for some of you. Your lower energy, very emotional, on and off. Maybe things in the home have broken, maybe you've been injuring yourself with Mars retrograding in the first, whatever it may be, but there is a frustrating element. Now, Mars is the 5th house is your creativity. So there's this whole piece around, what do I really want to create? Or maybe you'll want to create something and you just don't know how to get there. And with Mars being retrograde, it's like I don't know where to start. And there's just been this whole stop, start, not really start kind of aspect. Maybe you've wanted to quit a job and you've just wanted to really kind of give up on something that you've been working towards with Mars retrograding. There could have been this element of, oh, I just give up, because maybe you felt like you're not getting forward in some, you're not moving forward in something. Fertility issues could definitely come up here, or issues with a child, issues with rearing your children, frustrations with your children, feeling halted around, like I said, your love life. Maybe you want to get married and something's stopping you. Maybe you want to get divorced and something's stopping you. There's this frustrating element to do with your love life and your status. Your reputation could have been changing, and you've been rethinking about, for some of you, about how you want to be seen and what goals you're working towards. How do I want people to see me? And there could have been this rethinking process the whole of the retrograde. But really, this has kind of started in October. Like I said, your energy could have been lower, and maybe you've just been not really knowing what you want to put your energy into the most. So as Mars goes direct on the 23rd, you guys have my full permission to celebrate and have a party, because you will really see things moving forward. Is anything going to happen on the 23rd? Something specific might happen around that day, or you will just start to see over the next couple of months, as Mars moves out of your first house, is going to clear its shadow phase in Leo not until 3rd of May. So it's going to move out in April, clear shadow in May, and then you're going to really start to feel like things are moving forward again. This is also, your body. Maybe you've been going back to kind of looking after your physical body, or having, obviously there's been a lack of energy, but there's been focus on your appearance or your body in some way. Let me know in the comments, Cancer, how has this played out for you? How has this story played out for you personally? Everyone's going to be different based on their own charts, but yeah, please let me know your stories. I'm really intrigued. I hope things are going to be looking more forward motioning, that's not a word, but you know what I mean, over the next few months for you guys. We are going to have retrogrades in your 10th house and your 9th house, so there's going to be a rethinking around your career and what you're learning, or your public status and reputation, and This is also the house of the law, so we can see legal matters come up here. But things are going to be, there's going to be a rethinking process over the next couple of months, which I'm going to talk about in another video. But yeah, let me know how this particular retrograde has been going for you, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, Leo. So you guys have been experiencing Mars retrograde in your 12th house, and Pisces season is now activating your 8th house. So are you guys okay? Are you okay? Is my first question. So I'm going to talk to you about Pisces season. So you have got a lot of planets in your 8th house right now. This is a very sensitive house. So it's okay if you are feeling kind of off at the moment and not quite yourselves. The 8th house can have us really in our feels. It's one of the houses that represent are connected to mental health. It's our therapy, our psychology. And when you have a lot of energy in one house, it's really kind of reiterating the themes of that sign and that house. So Pisces season for you is introspective. This is going to be a time when you're really going within. Maybe you don't want to be seen as much, which shocking for you guys, I know, but maybe you want to be kind of behind the scenes a bit more. You're reflecting on something. There's something that you need to heal and let go of. This is the house of death and rebirth. This is maybe your own rebirth and transformational process. The North Node is now here. So what are you going through at the moment? What are you going through in terms of intimacy, intimate connections, intimate relationships? This is the reproductive system. This is the house that connects to divination and everything that we can't see. This is taboo subjects. So you may feel more called towards divination, towards reaching for magic, reaching for tarot, reaching for astrology, asking for someone to help you, whether it's a therapist, feeling more called to therapy. The sun rules you. So your life direction and your body and who you are is taking a deep dive into the watery ventures of Pisces and Scorpio. This is Scorpio's house and Pisces on it. What's been going on? Now, this is about your own transformation. This is about you rising from something. This is the house where, it's the phoenix. It's rising from the ashes. That is the energy of Scorpio, and you're being encouraged to transform from something, and it can sometimes feel quite heavy. So what is it that you're going through, Leos? Let me know in the comments. Are you going through something, and does it have something to do with your relationships now that Pluto is in your 7th house? Now, with the sun, bearing in mind the sun's only going to be here for a few weeks, and Mercury even less, because Mercury moves really quite fast. So there's only going to be a few weeks of this really heavy feeling, but you are being called towards letting something go. This is both the 12th and the 8th house is about letting go. The water houses, we let stuff go, but the 8th house is it's our own behavior. It's it is the house of crisis. So sometimes we can see kind of dramatic things happening in this house. Now, a lot of the time it's symbolic of a death and transformational process rather than an actual death, but it's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable because this is our shadow side and it's our fears. And so sometimes our fears can come up, secrets can come out, our fears can come up when we see transits in this house. I'm not saying that to be dramatic. I'm just saying if you're feeling really emotional, if things have happened recently, then it's probably the North Node moving in this house and you going through something, because the sun that rules you is tying your life direction into this transformational process. So let me know what's going on in that situation, in that part of your life. And then also, because you've had Mars retrograding in your 12th house, this is also kind of difficult because it's in Cancer, it's in the 12th house. The 12th house is our self-undoing. It's and basically this has been going on since October. So what has been happening since October, November, December? Mars went retrograde in December. It's now going direct. So have secrets come out? Have you been doing things behind the scenes? There's things to do with your family, things behind the scenes with your family. Your beliefs have been challenged, changes within your living situation. This is, maybe some of you are moving to a faraway place or rethinking moving to a faraway place. The eighth house, by the way, I forgot to mention, is also other people's money. So there's also focus here on joint resources. I forgot to mention that piece during Pisces season. Focus on joint resources, heavily focused there. Back to Mars. Mars rules your ninth house of your beliefs, travel, learning. For some of you, maybe you've been thinking about studying something, going back to study something, traveling somewhere far away, meeting a teacher or a guru in a spiritual place, really, really feeling the need to heal and let go. The 12th house sounds a bit dramatic, but it's one of the houses of loss. It's Pisces. It can be pain and suffering. And Mars is a malefic planet, and it's detrimented it's in full in Cancer. So for some of you, depending on your own personal placements, there can be a sense of losing something or someone because of, all of this energy in the 8th and the 12th. Like I said, it can be symbolic. What are you losing? What are you shedding? Maybe you're shedding your own skin. What are you letting go of? But there's a direct connection between your family, your emotions, secrets within the home, because Scorpio in the 4th house just suggests some sort of secrets or intensity within the home, and having to heal something and let something go in your home environment. Maybe healing. It's a really, really good energy to heal through, like meditation, spas. Mars is our energy, so put your energy into massage and yoga and spas to try and get rid. Yeah. So what's been going on, Leo? Let me know. Maybe you have just felt, I mean, if it's not as dramatic as anything I've just said, for some of it does depend on your own charts. For some of you, there's just an element of you've just felt like you're completely bogged down, and maybe things are really getting on top of you emotionally during this time. And as Mars moves direct, you're going to be feeling a bit better, or you're going to feel like you're moving forward with something and you've got a plan. Mars is the pioneer, it's the action, it's the plan. So you are going to feel like you're getting a plan in place for whatever it is as Mars moves forward. It's going to move out of Cancer and into Leo in April, and it's going to clear shadow in the beginning of May. Okay, so you've got kind of until April, where Mars will then move into your first house and you'll be feeling more energetic and more motivated. But at this time, you're in an introspective phase. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So we're all collectively ending something before we start Aries season. Okay, let me know in the comments what's been going on. How has this manifested for you? And I will see you in the next one. Virgos, my darling Virgos. Right, now, a lot is going on. A lot is going on, okay? Because we've got Pisces season, which is now heavily activating your 7th house. This is your one-on-one relationships with other people. This is a sign that opposes you. So this is everything that's not to do with you. It's about listening to the other person, dealing with other people, okay? And as the sun activates Pisces on your 7th house, there's a direct focus on your relationship. So if you are in a romantic relationship, there's direct focus between you and your partner in some way. Maybe you're having to heal something. Maybe you're having to let something go because it's Pisces. Maybe you're feeling more romantic, more dreamy. But the sun rules your 12th house of healing. So there's an element of things going on behind the scenes with you and a partner. Now, if you're not in a romantic relationship, this can be either business relationships or relationships with like your doctor, your therapist, your physician, whoever, astrologers, somebody that's going to help you because it rules your 12th house of healing. So there's focus on connecting with people in order to help and heal something. This is the house of sales. This is the house of, even enemies. It can show up in the 7th house, but really it's about you and somebody else, or, things going on in your partner's lives, things going on in your significant person's life. Now, this significant person can involve, a parent, a child, or any of the other people I mentioned, a best friend. But there's focus, your energy is connecting with other people or on other people in some way at this time. Now, Pisces is, like I said, about having that bit of compassion. And with Mercury here, as well, maybe you are having to have more conversations and appointments. Maybe you and your partner, or you are conversationalizing with a therapist, with a counselor, with a doctor. There's an element of appointments and details and just things going on with a partner. So let me know, Virgo, what is happening with your partner? What are they going through a transformation? What's going on here? But with the sun here, the sun is pulling in retreats, healing, meditation, spiritual, having faith around something. You and your partner having faith about something together is possible. Now, Mars has been retrograding in your 11th house. What's been going on since October with your family, your beliefs, your groups, and the groups that you're a part of, and your goals for the future? Have you been rethinking something about your goals? Maybe your family goals, maybe what you're working towards, rethinking something about the friendship groups that you're a part of. Are these friends aligned with me? Mars rules your 3rd house of connection and communication and details. Often I see, this is when I say the 3rd house of communication, it's like, for example, if you are dealing with doctors and health stuff at the moment, Virgo, with Pluto having moved into your 6th house, Mars ruling your 3rd house of connection, this is like emails, phone calls, things going on with the doctors, has probably felt frustrating over the past few months. Not being able to get a doctor's appointment, not being able to get through, or just a lot of back and forth and trips maybe has been coming up. Now with Mars retrograding, there can be a rethinking. Like I said, who do I want to spend my time with? Which friends have been really, really there for me? Those kind of things can come up. Which friends are aligned for me? Which friends do I see as my family? Cancer. Mars also rules the 8th house of your transformation. So this is deep. This is shared resources. So themes to do with friends and shared resources. So this is like investments, maybe borrowing money from a friend, or a friend recommending money, maybe a friend recommending that you invest in money, something like that. There's a connection between friends and groups and shared resources. And you've been doing something over. You've been going over something. Maybe not seeing the results of it with Mars retrograde. But as Mars goes direct on the 23rd, you're going to start to see results. So if you've been having connection problems, communication problems with friends, so communication problems with friends, investment problems, shared finances, things being tied up with other people's money, if things have felt stuck, things are going to start moving forward. Maybe you want to get a mortgage. Maybe you want to invest in something for your future, but you've not really got anywhere in the process, or you've been going over the details of something recently over the past few months. And as Mars moves forward, you are going to gain more clarity around your friendships, more clarity around your goals, more clarity around what it is that you're working towards, more clarity around those appointments, in order for you to get to your future goals, to align with the correct friendships, and to align with the organizations that you truly want to be a part of. And you're going to know what you want to put your energy into as Mars moves direct, Virgo. Now we're going to have a lot of retrogrades. March time is when it all really kicks off. We've got the new astrological year, the astrological new year. Your 8th house of transformation and shared resources and your 7th house of partnerships is going to be severely activated over the next couple of months. This is intimacy and partners, money and partners, crisis, transformation and partners. Something is going to be going on, okay? I'm not going to talk about any more about that in this video, but really just focus on this year. There's just going to be so much focus on you and your relationships for some reason, and yourself, because the South Node is in your 1st house. This is, health is going to be really important with the Pluto in your 6th house. Health, routines, but also trusting in the divine timing of things is going to really be showing up for you, Virgo. But with Mars moving forward, you are going to just start moving a bit forward energetically. Even though we've got these other retrogrades coming up, Mars is our energy, and it can feel really, really frustrating when it's retrograding. So now that it's moving forward, we can have a party, hallelujah. And I hope that things start to feel like they are moving forward for you. Let me know what's been going on for you. How is this story playing out for you? I would love to hear your own personal experiences of this. So please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also I do personal readings if you're interested in a personal reading. And I will see you in the next one. Okay, Libra. Hi, guys. So Pisces season is severely activating your 6th house. This is your work, your routines, your self-care, your schedules, your co-workers. This is the house of service and how you're helping other people. And this is also the house of pets. So with the North Node now here, Mercury's here, Sun's here, you know, what is going on at work? Are you really busy at work? There's direct kind of a lot of energy in your routine. So maybe you're putting more focus. For some of you, you're being called towards focusing on your health, on your routines, on looking after yourself, maybe more holistic approaches to health and healing. So, you know, Reiki, acupuncture, reflexology, that kind of stuff can all come up with Pisces on your 6th house. And the sun is now illuminating this. So the sun is our vitality. And when it moves into the 6th house, sometimes we can see health ailments come up. The sun is in traditional astrology, it's actually considered a malefic. So we don't really tend to look at that anymore, but it is interesting to see where the sun goes. Sometimes we can see issues arise. So it can be like a health thing crops up, especially as this is a sign that you can't really see. It's quincunx, so it's not a sign particularly friendly with your ascendant or your sun or your moon or whatever planet you have in Libra, but there's just a focus here on your health. So it can be that you are really being called towards looking after your health. And if you don't, you can kind of come down with a cold, you know, that kind of stuff, you know, overworking, feeling really busy, feeling like you're having to really, you know, chat to your co-workers, or things, just a lot of energy on who you're working with, who you're helping, and you putting your energy into that. It could be that people at work need your help more than usual. You're having more conversations. You're having to, you know, especially if you work in an organization, because the sun rules your 11th house of groups of people. Maybe you're just having to put more energy into group work, into charity work, into organizations that you're a part of in some way. Now, it could be that you are thinking you're adjusting your health routines. Maybe you're joining a gym, maybe you're joining a yoga class. Any kind of group and healing can be part of this. Self-care. You're being encouraged towards self-care, that's for sure. Whether you do it or not is another thing. But with the North Node here, you're going to be propelled towards this when we enter eclipse season. But yeah, so the sun is our vitality. So we have to really focus on what we need health-wise when the sun's moving through the 6th, because it's shining a light on something. It's shining a light on something to do with our health, to do with our routines. Are my routines healthy for me? Are my routines good for me? Am I making wise choices, or am I burying my head in the sand or in the clouds? Pisces on the 6th house. So instead of burying your head in the clouds, you actually need to heal energetically, Pisces. That's what you need to do. Also pay attention to where Jupiter is in your natal chart, because Jupiter rules this house. So pay attention to which house your natal Jupiter is in, because that's going to tell you what kind of things affect your health. Now with Mars retro, so Mars has been, and this is important, guys, because obviously you're a cardinal sign. So Mars has been retrograding in your 10th house of your career since December the 6th, but this story has kind of really started playing out since October. So have you been rethinking your career? Have you had a new job? Have you been offered a new job? Have you just been doing this whole rethinking process around who you want to work with, your clients? For some of you, there's been a rethinking around your status. So you've been wanting to get married. Maybe you have got married. Maybe you've got divorced. A change in your status, because Mars rules your 7th house of committed relationships. This is also the house of parents. So issues coming up with parents can come under this, because they also count as significant relationships. Mars also rules your 2nd house of money. So going back to the career idea, a lot of you are rethinking, what do I want to do for my career? How can I make money? Am I going to make enough money? And you've been rethinking, what do I want to put my energy into? Is this job aligned for me? You know, maybe it's got something to do with your health as well, with all this energy, maybe not, but there is this whole piece around, what do I want to be known as? What do I want my reputation to be? What do I value? What's important to me? How do I want to be seen in the world? How do I want my, you know, my public status to show up? And you've been re-questioning, okay, what do I want to put my energy into? Now, Mars itself works quite well in the 10th house normally when it's direct. So, you know, it's not all bad. Well, even when it's retrograding, there is this slight introspection process, but you could have seen new opportunities coming to you around your career, around, you know, job opportunities, and how you're being perceived, for sure. Money opportunities could have been coming to you, but you may have felt like you don't know what decision to make, or you may have felt like you're struggling to move forward. But now Mars is going direct, you're going to gain more clarity around your financial situation, more clarity around what you're working towards, more clarity around your goals, more clarity around your status. Things are going to feel clearer as Mars moves direct in your 10th house of career. Creative ideas can come to you. Just be careful around conflicts with people at work. Mars is a malefic planet. Sometimes we can see conflicts with bosses, arguments. Maybe you've seen some of that stuff in the retrograde process. Arguments definitely could have come up. Passive aggressive behavior at work, that could have all come up. But things are going to feel like you're moving forward, especially as we get to the beginning of May, where Mars will have cleared its shadow in Leo and it's kind of well on its way. Now, we are going to have a lot of retrogrades in March. We've got Venus and Mercury retrograding in your 7th house back into your 6th. So for some of you, there's going to be this whole rethinking process around your relationships, all kinds of relationships, and your health and your routines and your work. But I'm going to do that in a separate video. Just know that even though we've got retrogrades coming up, Mars rules our energy. So when Mars is going backwards, that's a real tough one, should we say, especially in the sign of Cancer, because it doesn't perform well in Cancer. It's in its fall in Cancer because it's exalted in Capricorn. So in Cancer, it doesn't have the tools that it needs in order to operate at its highest, in its best way, highest potential. So yeah, let me know what's been going on for you, Libra, over the past few months. What have you been reworking? You know, even if it's like creative projects and things, what has been going on? What have you reworked? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Scorpios. So Pisces season has started. And for you guys, actually, this is a really nice energy because it's a trine to you and it's happening in your 5th house of fun, creativity, creation, children, self-expression, and just being in the limelight and doing fun things. And this is also the house of love and romance. So with a stellium of planets here now, this house is severely activated for you. And the sun is shining a light. Now, the sun rules your 10th house of career. So maybe you guys are really thinking around creativity projects for your career. What are you working on? Maybe you're just feeling more creative at work. Maybe you are, if you run your own business, this is a really, really great transit for getting creative, thinking of content, thinking of things to put out into the world. This is the house of romance and dating. Maybe your status is changing. Maybe you're going to meet a romantic partner. Now, the North Node is in this sign and this house for you. You can definitely meet a soulmate at any point during this transit. So maybe the sun is going to activate that for you because it rules your 10th house of your status and your reputation. This is the house of children. So focus on children in some way, whether you work with children, maybe it's your own children, but there's just a lot of focus, communication with Mercury here, getting creative. You're putting your energy into this house. So you're putting your energy into creating something. You're putting energy into taking more risks. Maybe you're focusing on what you do for fun. Maybe you're thinking, you know, what do I do for fun? Do I dance? Do I sing? Do I act? Do I play football? Do I play right? You know, any hobbies come under the 5th house. And with the sun here, you're going to be focusing more on what you do for fun. Daydreaming about ideas around how can I express myself? How can I get out and have a bit more fun? Very romantic energy for if you do have a partner, putting more energy into your partner, spending more time with your partner. Like I said, spending more time with your children. But generally, this is just, yeah, it's a nice energy for you guys. You know, it's watery, it's emotional. You're kind of used to watery energy anyway. But this is about stepping into the limelight. This is Leo's natural house. So this is about you, focusing on you, stepping into the limelight and letting your light really shine, but doing it through a spiritual way, through a creative way, being empathic towards, you know, your lovers, your relationships, children in your life, that kind of thing. So generally, Pisces season for you is fun, joyful, creative, romantic. Extra romantic for you, even though Pisces is very romantic anyway. For you guys on the 5th house, it's going to be an extra romantic time. So yay for you. You've also had Mars retrograding in Cancer in your 9th house. So what has been going on, Scorpio, since October, because this is when the story started of Mars in Cancer, then it went retrograde on the 6th of December, it went retrograde in Leo, it went back to Cancer. Now it's going to go direct. So there's this whole piece of reworking something to do with what you believe in, to do with what you're learning, to do with the law, where you're traveling to. Mars rules you. So you would have been feeling this energy. Maybe your energy has been off. I mean, unless you have Mars retrograde in your birth chart, then you'll be familiar with this. But if you don't, which not many of us do, your energy is going to have been feeling off, and you've been reworking something about the direction of your life. What do I believe in? Where am I headed? You know, your view of the world, because this is the house where this is the lens, you know, your view of the world could be changing. Changing, you know, how do I want to spend my days? How do I want to spend my routines? Maybe your beliefs about your health have changed. Maybe you've been learning about your health, taking on new information around what's good for you, what's good for your body, how you can heal, how you know, self-care, developing your mind or rethinking. There's been a rethinking process around what's good for you. Maybe during this Mars retrograde, a reworking of something around your beliefs, a reworking of something around your religious or your spiritual beliefs, maybe going back to a spiritual practice or religious practice, or going back to an astrologer, thinking of traveling somewhere, actually traveling somewhere is possible. Wanting to, you know, maybe meeting somebody at work that's taught you something, like a guru or a mentor that's really helping your mind develop in some way through the Mars retrograde process. Excuse me. Thinking around, you know, really what do I want to put my energy into? Legal matters, like I said, could come up. But Mars retrograding is frustrating. So there's an element of not being able to move forward. It's 111 on the clock. I keep seeing that all week. There's an element of not being able to move forward with something. So what's been going on, Scorpio, like I said, since October. Now, as Mars moves direct again, you are going to gain more clarity around what it is that you believe in, what your faith is, how you can be of service to other people, because it is tying in that piece, the direction of your life, where you want to travel to, what you want to learn. If you've been rethinking something around you know, studying something, Mars moving forward, you're going to gain clarity here. Maybe you're going to publish something. You could publish a book. You could broadcast something. This is the house of information, expanding your mind. And if you've been doing this whole rethink around your higher thoughts, your higher learning, you know, thinking outside the box, Mars moving direct here is going to gain clarity for you. Maybe you have developed some wisdom, but the wisdom is tying in aspects of the direction of your life, your body, your health, and your routines, and your pets, and how you can be of service to other people. So there's this whole process of how can I help others? How can I be of service to others? What are my beliefs? What am I creating? What am I releasing? What am I broadcasting? But there's been a piece of feeling stuck. And now as Mars moves direct, you are going to gain some more clarity. Now, we are going to have retrogrades. They're going to have retrogrades in your 6th house of your daily work. So maybe you've been rethinking your job and your beliefs around what it is that I actually want to do. There's going to be some more to this about your daily work, your daily routines, when Venus and Mercury retrograde from Aries into Pisces. I'm not going to talk about this in this video. Retrogrades can be frustrating. However, the Mars is the worst, because it's our energy and it's collective energy. So it can feel frustrating, like things aren't moving forward. So just know that piece is moving forward again, even though we have got a lot coming up in March. Just having Mars direct is just going to help us move forward a bit. And the 3rd of May is when it's going to move out of your 9th house of Cancer, in which it's in its fall. You know, it is a bit debilitated here. So as it moves into the 10th house, you're going to gain more momentum and more kind of more energy to do with your career. So that's kind of something to look forward to, Mars moving into your 10th house and into the sign of Leo. So let me know in the comments, Scorpio, what has happened over the past few months? How have you dealt with this? What's been happening for you, and what have you been rethinking and working on? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Sagittarius, hi guys. So you are experiencing Pisces season, activating your fourth house of the home, the family, and your inner emotional world. So this is a sign that squares you. So it's not always that comfortable. And this is an angular house. So you are going to feel this prominently, Sagittarius. So what is going on in your home right now? Your family, your home, your living situation, your inner emotions. This is an emotional time for you, actually, because Pisces is emotional anyway. The fourth house is incredibly emotional. It's the house of Cancer. So as the sun moves in here, you are going to be feeling, maybe you're crying more. You're feeling more emotional than you usually would. And there's focus here on your home and your family and healing something and letting something go. So the sun rules your ninth house of your beliefs. So maybe your beliefs are changing, your spiritual beliefs, your religious beliefs. Maybe you're being called to have faith around something. This is the house of, it's a very, very private part of our lives. It's actually the most private section because it's opposite our public image, which is up here. This is the most private section of our chart. So this can be stuff that goes on inside you that actually you don't tell anyone. This is your inner emotions. So there's focus here on how you feel. How are you feeling, Sagittarius? Are you feeling extremely emotional about something? Do you need to heal something? Do you need to let something go? Are there changes to your home? Are you moving? Are you selling up? Are you rearranging furniture? What changes are you making to your home for some of you? Maybe you're spending more time at home. The sun is a vitality. So when our energy is on our home, we tend to focus more on that. Focusing on, what are our goals around a home? What do I want to change in my home? Even if it's in your garden, your home space, making changes to it and wanting to focus more on that is possible. How can I develop inner peace? The fourth house is all about our inner peace, and how you can develop that. So there's just focus here on that. So maybe you're feeling more called towards connection to spirit, connection to religion, connection to your higher mind, or learning something behind the scenes. Learning something in the home can also be possible. So studying something at home, definitely possible. Yeah, like connecting with a teacher or a guru, but doing it in a home environment. So it could be that you're connecting with somebody, online, that kind of thing, that's going to teach you something or help you learn something. For some of you, that is possible. But just turning within and wanting to release something before we get into the madness of Aries season. You're being called towards healing something and releasing something. Focusing on the past can happen a lot here. So maybe you're really reflecting on what's happened with your family and your past and your life, just reflecting on everything that's gone on, because Pisces season, we're in our imagination. So maybe you're just daydreaming about the past and everything that's happened. You are really like in your feels during this transit. But Mars has been retrograding in your 8th house. And this isn't necessarily easy either, because this is a water house. This is Scorpio's house. It's the house of transformation. And although Mars naturally has a connection with this house, it's not happy in the sign of Cancer. It's more challenged. So this is, an emotional time. This is the house of secrets. This is the house of shared resources, divination, taboo topics. This is also the house of death and transformation, mostly symbolic, but it can also be literal. Having to experience the death of somebody is possible in this house, but mostly it's going to be symbolic, the death of something in your life, or reworking of something. Maybe you've been going through your own personal transformation. Mars rules your 5th house of relationships and your 12th house of secrets. So what secrets have been going on within your relationships or the people in your life? You're being called towards letting something go. This is the house of intimacy, things going on behind the scenes, reworking something in your intimate relationships, definitely possible. What do you want to put your energy into? Things to do with your partner coming up, things to do with your business, things to do with your money, your shared resources, having to work something out within your shared resources and your business. This is feeling more called towards divination, like astrology, tarot, darker subjects, possible reworking, going back to doing something since Mars has been retrograding here, and it rules your fifth house of fun. So for some of you, yes, having a more of an interest in like tarot, astrology, that kind of thing. But on a deeper note, I feel like there's something here about if it's not your relationships, then maybe something to do with one of your children going through a transformation. Your children and shared resources with your children is also possible. Secrets, maybe a child's pregnant, maybe that kind of stuff can come up as well, or just topics to do with your children and their own transformation, or children and shared resources with a child is all possible. But there's an element of not being able to move forward, maybe with your own transformation. Maybe you are going through healing and letting something go, because the Mars rules your 12th house of healing, spirituality. You're being called to faith, being called to let something go. So as Mars moves direct on the 23rd, you are going to be feeling like you're getting somewhere. You're getting somewhere. So whatever you've been working on, whatever issues have been coming up over the past few months, things are going to start to move forward again. And as Mars moves out of Cancer and into Leo, April, beginning of May, it clears the shadow phase. Things might feel a bit easier in terms of what you're putting your energy into, and in terms of your clarity. We are going to have more retrogrades coming up. So that's going to add confusion. I'm not going to talk about that in this video. But just know that whatever's been going on in this retrograde process, you are going to feel like you're getting your energy back and you are motivated around what you're working towards. And if things with shared resources have been coming up, things are going to be clearing up a bit in that sense. So let me know, Sag, what's been going on. What has been going on for you in everything that I've mentioned? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Capricorn. So Pisces season is highlighting your house of connection, community, communication, the details of things. This is also the house of your mind and your learning. So this is severely lit up now. The sun is here, as well as Mercury, Saturn, the North Node, and Neptune. And so with Pisces on this house, actually, guys, you guys might be some of the people that are just airy-fairy, in your head, being forgetful, losing your keys, putting your phone down and not knowing where you've put it, that kind of thing. Because this is the house of your mind. Pisces, we can be lost in this dream world, and we can't really know what's going on all the time. So you may feel kind of a bit airy-fairy during this transit. Now, the sun rules your 8th house of transformation, shared resources. Maybe you're learning something, or you're joining communities to do with some intimate experience that you're going through. So for some people, it can be to do with therapy, any intimate stuff going on in your life right now, like secretive, intimate stuff. There's focus on learning. Maybe you're studying something behind maybe behind the scenes, but maybe you're expanding your mind around intimacy, around shared resources. So it could be that you're having conversations about intimate matters, you're learning something about an intimate topic, you're learning about the reproductive system. This is the house of conception, so maybe you're learning about those kind of topics that are kind of things we don't really talk about, but maybe you're expanding your mind and you're wanting to learn and put more focus into that. It could be that you are like I said, going through your own transformation and connecting with others because of this. So who are you talking to? Are you having deeper conversations with people at work? Are you, if you're in community things, in neighborhood things, there's an element of just connecting with people and having deeper conversations. So whether it be, you work in a hairdresser's and you're chatting to people more, but it's like deeper conversations. Maybe people are sharing their deeper intimate information with you. It's Pisces season, so there's going to be more compassion. Maybe you are, this is the house of, like I said, our community, but it's also how we get around to those communities. It's our transportation. So there's focus here on travel. So traveling short trips. Maybe you're going places and learning something, expanding your mind. Maybe you're going somewhere to do a course, that kind of thing. You're going somewhere to learn something new, traveling somewhere to learn something, traveling somewhere to expand your mind. Though all those things can come up. Focusing on siblings, there's focus on siblings here. Maybe a sibling is traveling to you, or you're traveling to a sibling, but there's focusing on siblings and relatives. But really, this is about thinking deeper, learning deeper, expanding your mind, connection, communication, and just feeling more sociable. Like your friendships can show up in this house as well. So having to, you know, have conversations with your friends around certain topics and putting more energy into friendships and those social connections is also possible as well. And maybe like appointments and things can show up in this sign. So like appointments, you know, doctor's appointments, I see a lot show up in the third house because we're kind of traveling here, there, and everywhere, and it's information. So that often shows up in the third house as well. And also Mercury, that rules your sixth house of appointments, is here. So yes, definitely like appointments or you know, emails, texts, things where you're having to speak to people to do with your health can come up during this transit as well. Now, Mars has been retrograding in your seventh house of relationships. So what has been going on for you, Capricorn, to do with your relationships over the past couple of months? So this kind of started in October. Then Mars went into Leo, and then it retrograded back into Cancer. So there's a story around the Cancer section of your chart, a frustration, not being able to move forward. Now, this can be any significant one-on-one relationships in your life. So yes, it can be frustrations with your partner at home. Mars rules your fourth house of the family and home. So frustrations with a romantic partner, not being able to move forward with something, going over the same grounds, having arguments, maybe they're irritating you. That can all happen with Mars ruling your fourth house of your family and being in your seventh house of one-on-one relationships. Or maybe your family members irritating you in some way. Mars also rules your 11th house of friendships. So this can tie in best friends, significant friendships in some way, and feeling like you're stuck or not being able to move forward in something. This is also the house of, you know, our therapists, our astrologers, any significant one-on-one relationships, people that you meet as part of groups. This is also tying in your goals. This is the house. 11th house is your future goals. 7th house is your relationship. So maybe reworking something about your goals with your partner. Some frustrations around what you're working towards, not quite getting there. Maybe to do with money, maybe to do with things that need adapting or changing in the home, are coming up. Pluto's in your second house of finances. So what's changed within your financial situation? Maybe that's coming into it as well. But really, the piece is about significant relationships, and you working something out with a partner, with a best friend, with a parent, really deciding what you want to put your energy into. But it's really, yeah, it's really tying in family members and your living situation in some way. Maybe you're thinking about moving, but you're not getting anywhere with it because Mars retrograde is frustrating. So let me know what has been going on. What has been going on with you and partners? If you have felt you and your partner have not been getting on, then just know that this transit is quite difficult, or it can be, because Mars does not perform that well in Cancer. It's been in this house for a very long time. And Mars is a malefic planet. It's the planet of conflict. So you can see some irritation from your partner, or just a reworking of something to do with your goals and your living situation with a partner. If you don't have a partner, now it's any significant relationship in your life, even business partnerships, people that you work with on a business level, frustrations with them, or having to work something out. Mars is like fixing something as it's been retrograding. Now, as it's moving forward again, 23rd of Feb, we are going to be feeling like we're moving forward. So you're going to gain clarity. Now, it's not going to be free of this house until April, and then the beginning of May, it clears shadow. So you've still got April with Mars in your 7th house, but at least it won't be retrograding anymore. And then we've got these other retrogrades happening in Aries and Pisces. So your 4th house of family and your 3rd house of communication and networking and social interactions. This is all going to be activated. So we have got some other stuff coming up that I'm going to cover in a separate video. But just know the frustrating energy of Mars not moving forward, and also opposing your sign, which is sometimes difficult in itself, that alone is going to be helping us feel like we are moving forward again. So let me know, Capricorns, what's been going on for you in your home life, your partners, your family life, and feeling slow or feeling like you need to you're working something out. Let me know how that is showing up for you, and I'll see you in the next one. Aquarius, Pisces season is severely activating your second house of your finances, your values, your income, and your self-worth. So this house has got a lot going on. We've got a stellium of planets, we've got Neptune, the North Node, Saturn, and Mercury, and now the Sun. So this is all about your financial situation. What is going on? And for a lot of you, now that you've got Pluto in your first house, maybe you've started a new job, maybe you've started your own business. Whatever you're doing, you're really taking your power back, and your financial situation is highlighted. So have you started a new job? Are you earning more? The focus is here, and it's tying in your seventh house. So maybe this is your clients. Maybe you're making money from your clients. Maybe you're making money from sales. Maybe your partner is having to lend you money. Maybe a significant person in your life is having to lend you money because maybe you've started, like I said, maybe you've started something, or maybe you lost a job under this Pluto in the first house transit, and now the focus is on your finances, and maybe you've not quite got a job yet, and so you're having to borrow some money. With Mercury here, you're thinking of ideas. How can I make money? This is also the house of your self-worth and your values. So it's like, what do I value? What's important to me? And this can all be coming up during Pisces season. Maybe you're fantasizing about your money goals. You're fantasizing about what it is that you want from life, your resources, your possessions. You're fantasizing about having nice cars and nice things and whatever for some of you. But the Sun is putting direct focus here. So it's like you're putting energy into, okay, how am I going to make money? Where's the money going to come from? Sorting out your finances, thinking about what's important to me, what do I value? And then as the North Node is here too, we are going to see eclipses. We're going to be seeing eclipses in the Pisces and Virgo section of your chart, which is highlighting finances. So this is a very financial year for you guys, which is why I'm wondering, have you changed jobs? Have you started a new job? Are you going back to a job? What's happening? Because there's going to be changes in your financial situation. For the better, I would say, with the North Node here. But the Sun is illuminating this. It's highlighting something that you need to see. You're putting your energy into it in some way, shape or another. But the Sun is, in traditional astrology, seen as a bit of a malefic planet. So it can be that actually you're having to pay out for something, you're having to borrow some money. You're putting your energy there, but this is going to look different for everyone. Now, with Mars retrograding in your sixth house of your daily work, your health and your routines, what has been going on for you over the past few months? How have you been changing your health, changing your routines? What have you been putting energy into? Starting a health routine, starting an exercise program, changes in your work, changes in your daily work, possibly, changes in your routines. Mars rules your third house of connection and communication and your 10th house of career. And it has been retrograding in your sixth house of your routines, your work. So there's definitely been a piece of maybe a change in your career, maybe a change in how much you're working. So maybe a change in your hours and having to rework your hours and rework and think, okay, what do I want to focus on? What do I want to put my energy into? What do I value now that all of this second house is activated? You're thinking, what do I value? What's important to me? And the Mars retrograde has brought an element of frustration. So maybe you've had some frustrations around your daily work and your daily environment, some frustrations around how you're of service to people, some frustrations around moving forward, maybe some frustrations around your health. Have you been trying to get appointments for things and you can't quite get there? Because Mars rules your third house of information getting lost, information taking ages, doctors taking ages. Mars in the sixth is frustrating. And for some of you, there's been an element of trying to get to the bottom of a health matter and not being able to get there, or there's just being an element of frustration. Things to do with pets may have come up during this retrograde process. So rethinking around your pets or issues with pets. Mars is a malefic planet, changes to your pets. Conflict with co-workers, also possible during the Mars retrograde. Mars in general, actually, but Mars in Cancer is kind of passive aggressive stuff going on, retrograding. It's, we're rethinking, okay, do I want to work with this person? Because actually I don't like their energy. I don't like their vibe. I don't like the way they speak to me, that kind of stuff. rethinking around how you communicate with people at work may have also come up as well. And as Mars goes direct on the 23rd of February, you are going to feel more clarity around putting energy into your workout routine. You're having more energy to work out, feeling better because you've been working on your diet, feeling like you're moving forward with something. Mars is also inflammation. So if you have felt inflamed anywhere in your body over the past couple of months, that's because Mars has been in this house, and it inflames things. Now, yeah, so you will be gaining more clarity around your job. Maybe you'll get offered a job because Mars rules your 10th house of career. So as it goes direct, you could get offered a job. So if you've been searching for work, then know that that's potentially coming for you. And just know that whatever you've not been able to move forward with is going to be feeling more clear after the 23rd. Now, we are going to be having a lot of retrogrades in your 3rd and 2nd house. I'm going to talk about this in another video, but just know that's coming up. So that can also feel frustrating, but I feel like nothing is as frustrating as Mars retrograde, because Mars is our energy collectively, and we can just feel really stuck with things, with moving forward with stuff with the retrograde process. So let me know what's been going on for you, Aquarius. How have things changed? How has this played out for the past couple of months? What is your story? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Hi, Pisces. Last but certainly not least, you guys are stepping into your season. Okay, this is where it really starts. You've probably heard a lot of people saying that Pisces are in their villain era. And the reason people are saying that is because the North Node is in your sign, and you are going to be propelled towards your destiny and towards doing what is truly right for you over the next 18 months. You're going to be doing less of the people pleasing, which you do tend to do, and more of focusing on yourself and what's important for you. Pluto in your 12th house is helping you heal something. It's helping you release unhealthy psychological wounds and unhealthy escapism, unhealthy self-sabotaging behaviors. Saturn in your 1st house. You're learning to take responsibility about something, about the direction of your life, something to do with your life. Now, Pisces season, now the sun as Mercury has moved into your 1st house. You're getting your energy back. Aquarius season was a bit introverted for you. Planets moving through your 12th. It's a time where we just feel more called towards just chilling at home, introspecting and releasing the energy of the day, that kind of vibe, which you guys do need to do anyway because you're Pisces. But now that it's Pisces season, you have, especially if you're a Pisces rising, because you have got these, Mercury is in your 1st house, which is all about, communicating better, having ideas come to you, feeling busier, going on short trips. The sun is moving into this house as well. So whether you are a sun, moon, or a rising, the sun is going to move past one of your planets, or it's in your 1st house. This is about yourself. This is about self-focus, your body, your identity. Now, the sun rules your 6th house of your physical health. The direction of your life over the next few weeks is going to correlate with my health, my routines, what's good for me, how can I improve my health, what can I focus on, how is my daily, is my daily work enjoyable? Focus on all of, my routines. All of these things are going to be coming up for you, and it's going to have a direct correlation with the direction of your life in some way. Obviously, it's going to be different for everyone, but because the sun does rule your sixth house of your health, it's pulling that into your direction of life right now, what you're focused on. Are you focused on eating better? Are you focused on healing something? Are you working something out? Has this got anything to do with your family? Because Mercury rules your 4th house of family, and it's also here. Has this got anything to do with your relationships? Because Mercury also rules that, and it's also here. There's lots of pieces going on. Saturn rules your goals, your goals, your relationships, your family. All of these are being tied in right now to the direction of your life. And you are focusing with the sun here on how you can improve your health or your routines or change your daily work. For some of you, it could be focusing on work changes or just focusing on work, being busy at work, for example. But you are changing and you are shifting and you are healing and you are letting something go. Because we are going to have retrogrades in Aries and Pisces. Your first house and your second house, your values and your body, your money and your life direction. All of these things are going to be coming up within the next month in March. But until then, let's just focus on the fact that Mars is going direct. So Mars is going direct on the 23rd of February in the sign of Cancer. Now, this is a sign that trines you. It's a harmonious sign. However, what has been going on, Pisces, for you over the past few months, since October, since this story began, to do with children, to do with what you're creating, to do with your love life and how you have fun and your hobbies. Feeling frustrated or stuck around something. For some of you, it's going to be, maybe fertility issues. Mars went retrograde in Leo, which is children, and your sixth house of health, and retrograded back into the fifth. So it could be fertility issues, issues with pregnancy, or reworking something around your body or a pregnancy for some of you. For others, it's going to be, what are you creating? Maybe a challenge around your beliefs as well, because Mars rules your ninth house of beliefs, a challenge around your beliefs, having to have faith about something. What do I want to create? How do I want to show up in the world? If you run your own business, this is what do I want to put my energy into? Which projects do I want to launch? Do I want to publish something? If I do, what do I want to publish? Taking risks, legal matters can come up in these houses. This is the house of fun. How do I want to have fun? How do I want to spend my time? What's important to me? What do I value? How do I want to spend my money? How's money going to influence my children? Or, all that kind of stuff between money and values and children can be coming up. Stuff between money and what you're creating, what you're spending on hobbies can come up. You've been reworking something. This is the house of romance. What issues have you been having in your relationships to do with what you value, to do with finances, to do with your beliefs? There could be some issues in relationships coming up, or having to rework something with a partner. This story, like I said, has been going on for a couple of months. So let me know in the comments what has been playing out for you. Just know as Mars moves direct, you're going to gain more clarity around this part of your life. Maybe you're going to have to learn more and expand your mind around being open to having children, being open to topics around something that you're creating, whether you're creating a life, whether you're trying to create a life or trying to create a project. Maybe learning something or expanding your mind around something as Mars moves direct. Money coming to you from investments is possible, because the fifth house is taking risks. If you've been taking risks financially and you've not seen anything yet, as Mars moves forward, maybe some finances are going to pay off, whether it's risk taking or business stuff. Mars retrograding as it rules your second house of finances can feel slow. So actually, you're going to start to see some traction probably as Mars moves direct in the financial section, if it's related to risk taking or businesses of some kind. Feeling more clear around what you want to put your energy into as well. This is the house of sex. Maybe having a bit more of that as Mars goes direct, possibly. Yay for you. Let me know what's been going on. Like I said, this is really about you guys this month. And then we're going to come into eclipse season, which is going to be exciting. So let me know what's been going on for the past couple of months. How have things been playing out for you? Mars retrograde has been frustrating on our energy, and we have got other retrogrades coming up, Venus and Mercury, but at least Mars will be moving forward again. So what we're putting our energy into, I just find it's going to be much easier when Mars is moving forward again, even with these retrogrades. This is going to be more of like a rethinking. This has been like I can't move forward. I physically can't move forward. So Mars retrograde is so frustrating. Whereas Mercury and Venus, it's annoying and can be like a rejiggling of stuff, especially Mercury is a bit annoying. But yeah, now Mars is moving direct. We're going to be feeling like we have got traction. Anyway, I'm rambling on here. Let me know if you got some value from this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Please give it a comment. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future content from me. I also do personal readings, so take a look at the information if you would like your own chart read. And I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.